We've got a lot of ground to cover today, guys, so I'm gonna go in immediately and share my screen. Today we'll be looking at the basics of PowerPoint. So I'm not gonna go into uh, the depth because PowerPoint is you can go into so much greater depth with this with a presentation tool where you can build your slides, you can animate it, you can add in media, different objects, and so on. So when I open up a PowerPoint, it will take me into what they call my gallery. And here they will give me under my home sidebar button, that will show me the different PowerPoint presentations that I've been working on before. And they give me a set of different themes. However, I want to start a brand new one. So if I go to the new button, it will show me a lot more themes that is available. Um, and of course, the recent will show me all the recent ones alone. And there's also the shared presentations, which I've shared with other people before, that I've collaborated with other people. Then, of course, the open button will give you the option to open previous presentation. I'm just going to go back to new. So here under my themes, I can select any of these themes. You can also, guys, you can also go to the search button and search for specific themes. So if I want to search for themes in terms of a category, so if I type in, say, school, and then it will give me all themes that is related to school, right? Also, if I type in, say, if I go business, now it gives me the themes in terms of business. So besides the standard themes that comes with your PowerPoint, you can also search for specific themes by just typing it in on the search at the top. And guys, basically what themes are, it's slides with its own collection of fonts, um, background colors, and and its own layout, so you can then choose between all these different themes. The theme that I'm going to be starting off is just the plain white slide with black text, and I'll show you guys why I'm choosing this one for the moment. So if I double click in it, it will take me into my designer view. Now in my designer view, for those who had my previous Excel and Word sessions, I like to customize my interface a little bit more. And before I get into that, let me just explain to you quickly about the interface for the total beginners. So at the top, I've got my menu bar, and under my menu bar, it shows me all my different menu items. Now, my menu items shows all the buttons which is basically laid out across my canvas or my designer view. And under my designer view, I've got my toolbar, which is these sets of buttons over here. And below that, I've got my ribbon, which has my different tabs, right? And each tab has a set of buttons. So yeah, I've got my home button that consists of a group of buttons. So guys, this can become complex. And as I mentioned, for those who had my previous Word in Excel sessions, I like to break this up. So I go to my preferences and I go to my view button and I click on show group titles. And this will now easily break it up. You can see that's my clipboard section, my slides, fonts, paragraphs, and so on. And this applies right across all the different ribbon buttons. And it's under my insert, I can see slides, tables, and so on. And insert is referred to working with my different objects and media. A draw is where I can do hand drawings and so on. Design is where I can change my layout, my slide layout. I can change the different themes and so on. Transitions and animations refer to animations that I can do across slides or objects within the slide. A slideshow where I can play my slideshow and so on. And then I've got the review button, which which are tools basically fit for collaboration, right? And you can make comments and check spelling and so on. And then there's my view button, which I hardly go into, guys. And I tell you guys why I don't go into this very often, because at the bottom of my, yeah, on my, I like to call this my status bar. Yeah, I can see there's a button for my notes, where I can view my notes, and here you can see it's the same button over there. I can add my comments, okay, which is accessible under my review button as well. And there I've got where I can switch to my, they call it my slide sorter, which is the same over there. And also my, where I can play my slideshow. And I will click on these buttons as we go along, okay? One thing that I like to activate here as well is my rulers. So I can actually, space it out and work it by the ruler. Also, I've got guides to help me out when I'm putting my objects and my media together. But um, after all of that, let me start off with working with my slides. So now I'm going to go back to my home button. And as you can see, I've got my sidebar that shows my slides that I'm working on. And in the middle is my canvas, the actual slide that I'm working on. Now, a slide normally consists of the type of text that you're using, also the placeholder. In this case, it's a text placeholder. So yeah, I'm just gonna go and click into my placeholder. I'm gonna call this PowerPoint. Okay, and at the bottom, just go Angelo. There we go. And now I'm just going to add in another slide. And all I do is I go into my home button there under my slide section, and I just go new slide. So I can click on new slide, which will just add in a slide, and you can see it adds in a slide with my title at the top, and I can put a bullet points at the bottom, right? It's got these little symbols as well, which I will show you guys later on. So I could choose just by clicking on new slide, or alternatively, I'll delete the slide quickly. I'll just hit the backspace. Or I could click on the arrow next to it and it will show me these different masters. So you can choose from these masters which type of slide you wanna select. So I'm gonna choose the title and content again. And then I can add in my text in here as well. Okay. And now I can add in my different bullet points and so on. And I can say that this is going to be section 1, right? Adding slides and so on. And then I can add in maybe a different slide altogether. So I can then click on the arrow once again and I can go and add in another one like that. But now I've added in another slide similar to this one, but now I would like to change this layout of this one. So I can do it one of two ways, guys. I could just delete it and add in another one, but it becomes a little bit confusing if you've got a lot of slides and you start deleting and adding in slides, it falls into the wrong place, blah, 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 blah. Now to change the layout very quickly, we just go to the layout button and it will give us our same masters. And I want to now change it to, let's go with the comparison. And then it will automatically change it to that, okay? So guys, I know there's a lot of people that don't work specifically with masters the way you ought to. Some people like to go with a layout and put in a blank slide and start putting in their own stuff in there. And I'll explain to you guys why that's not a good idea. So if I should have done that, right? And I don't want to use the placeholder and I delete my placeholders like many people do. And now I put in my own text box instead. And just because. And now I don't want that. If I go to my reset button, it will automatically bring those ones back. Okay. So that is how you can revert to what the placeholder originally looked like. So I'm going to delete this slide as well for us. And in fact, I'm going to close down this whole presentation. And as I close it down, it will come up and it will tell me to save this presentation. And yeah, I can save it either on my Mac or at the moment it's going to save into my OneDrive. But I want to save it onto my Mac. So I click on my Mac. Okay, so that it will give me the place where I want to save it to. I can save it into a different file format if I want to. and give it a name and choose my destination in terms of where I want to save it to. Alternatively, I can just select it on my sidebar, which is the same sidebar that you'll find in Finder, just to show you guys, same as in Finder. But normally your save box will come up like this. So when it comes up like that, guys, just click on that arrow and it will expand it, and you can choose a subfolder inside of your desktop and so on. So I'm going to cancel this. I don't want to save the slides at the moment, or this presentation. I'm going to say don't save. I'm going to open one that I've kind of pre-prepared for this session. Okay, so here I've got all my slides laid out here with my my text in it and so on. And here I've done the sections that I want to cover today. Yeah, I've got my section 1, which I've shown already. We have added the slide, changed the layout. Let's go to the changing of the background color of our slide, and let's see how we can change the entire theme. And then there's something that I want to show you guys. It's pretty cool. So first of all, we've changed the layout, but now we want to change the background color. So I'm going to add in another slide. I'm going to select this slide, because whichever slide that you add in will always go after that slide. Hey guys, you can also click between the slides. You will see a little blinking line will come in between the slides. Now if I say click on my arrow, say let's go with choosing the title only, then it will automatically add it in below that one. So I'm going to say here, change background color. Also, guys, one thing you also need to keep in mind before working on PowerPoint, is good to go to your tools menu item and change your language to UK English and set it as default. Okay, because as you start spelling the words that we spell differently from America, then it's not going to give you a spelling error on that. Okay, so like you can see there, I see I didn't turn off my defaults, but for now, let's ignore that one. So now I want to change the background color. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my design menu item, or my design ribbon button. And in there, I'm going to click on the background, format background. And here I can choose to give it a solid color. And on my solid color, you'll see that there's this little button there, which I can change the color with, the color fill button. And here I can just say, I want to make it this blue. Okay, I can go into gradient, I can go to picture, texture fill, pattern, and so on. And they will give you different options as you go in. So if I click on insert here, I can choose not to insert one. I can go to choosing my effects if I have different effects for it. There we go. And I can also choose the picture correctness for the ones that I do select. Okay. I'm going to go back to gradient fill for now. And here under gradient fill, I can choose how the gradient will come up for my slides, etc. I want to show you guys this, because you have got four different gradient options. And as I move this, you can see the gradient will change. But in fact, I actually just want 2. So I will remove the one by just dragging it off it. I can also select it and click on the minus. That will take it out. Now I've only got these 2. So I will select the first box only, and here it shows me the color on that. So I can click and I can select the color on that. But I've got a little logo which I want to use the color of as well. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my logo first. Okay, so I'm going to click on my Finder. I'll quickly find it for us. It's actually in my desktop. Apologies. So yeah, I've got my little logo. Okay, and I'm just going to move it to the side there for now. And here I can now choose my the option and choose again my color fill. I choose more colors, and under more colors, you see I've got my color dropper. I select that, and I want to select a more lighter blue, so I'll select that and I click on OK. And you can see there the color I've changed to that. And with this one, I'll select that one and I will choose more colors. Rinse and repeat the same process. Click my color dropper and select the darker blue. Click on OK. And there I've got this type of slide that looks similar to what my logo looks like. And now that I've done that, I can now quickly click on, I can either keep it that way or can say apply to all, which will then apply to all of my slides on the sidebar. Okay, just gonna go, and I'm just gonna undo this quickly, and to undo it, I'm just gonna go and select or go edit, undo, Command Z, or just do the shortcut key, Command Z. There we go. And I will Command Z that one as well. Now, when it comes to changing your theme, right, you can go to your themes as well, and you can say select it, and here it gives you all of the different themes. And I can then click on, say, for instance, I want to choose the main event theme. Then it will change the theme of all of my slides. So as you can see, my main title slide, it actually puts it in a more skewer text than other themes that I was working on. And as I change my themes, you will see that the layout changed for those ones as well. Yeah, you can see that it automatically places it in those, in that gray box, gray square, and so on. I'm just going to go back to the white, the previous theme that I was working on initially. Okay, so now that we have worked with our different slides, is something, like I said, I want to show you guys as well. You see, built into PowerPoint, we've got this option here now. Now this is with 2019 as well as with 365. You've got this design ideas. If I click on the design ideas, it gives me a variety of ideas that I can apply to my slides, right? And it also takes hold of the masters that I've been using, or the placeholders. So yeah, I can now say I want to apply this type of slide for that, depending on the type of work that I'm doing, or I'm going to go with that one there. And then I can go into my other slides as well. And you can see they generate ideas automatically for you to utilize, which is flipping awesome. So it takes all of the hard work away, and you can add it in the way you want to. So if I now say I want to go with this one here to explain that, it makes it way more professional without you doing all of the hard work. So something to grab hold of as well. I'm going to leave it like that for now, and as we go along, we're going to work with our other slides as well. If I want to, I think we can do it with multiple ones as well. So if I select those three, then I can, then I can apply that design also with those three only. So if I say this one here, oh, I see, it just applies it to the one slide. So for each slide, you can have a different design, which is pretty cool. Okay. So now that we've looked at how we can do with our slides in terms of adjusting the color, the layout, and so on, let's look at when we want to add in, say, our different objects and media. So if I come here to my objects, I can add in shapes, tables, and charts. Those are just the basic ones that I can select. Let me go into that quickly. So I'm going to add in a new slide, right? And this time around, I'm going to add in, I'm going to change the layout. I'm going to select this one here. So guys, one thing I want to bring to your attention is this here in the middle, right? So here, if you choose those masters that's got that little symbol in the middle, right? What it allows you to do is to go straight from the back on the slide. Just zoom in. Straight from the back on the slide, where you can add in a new table, add in a chart, add in all of these things. So now I'm going to start with just adding in a shape. Now I can also add in my stuff by going to my insert button. So I'm going to add in a shape quickly. And here they give you basic shapes that you can add in. I can add in a square, I can add in a circle, and so on. Okay, uh, and so on, and just draw it in, right? Um, Other things I can also add in if I go to my insert is also icons. And this is pretty cool because here you can add in various icons, which is similar to that of what Alan showed in Keynotes, but this is actually becomes better because here they only give you, there's a whole sea of icons and it keeps on updating as you go down. But say for instance, I decide, you know what, I want to add in icons specifically of, let me go with laptop, and they give you laptop icons. So now I can just add that in. So if I click on it, then I can click on insert. There it is, right? And I can then go and, as you can see, it gives me design ideas on that as well. And I can then say, look, I'm looking for, let me go with mobile. And it gives me something for my mobile phone. I'll select that one over there, insert. And as I resize it there, guys, you would notice that it actually matches up the size of my other objects as well. I'll just delete these ones quickly. So even if I go into, say, if I want to now say tablets, I tried to say iPad, but it doesn't find anything on that regard. But now if I say tablet, then it will give me the option to add in. So you can search specific icons as well. And you can see it matches up the size of my phone. There we go. So these are the types of things that you can in terms of setting up shapes and icons. Comes to tables. If I go and I want to add in a table, I'm just going to add in a new slide, insert, and I say table. I can then choose how big my table must be. And if I now select, say, 4 rows, 4 columns, then it will automatically add it in. Now, guys, what you would pick up is if you select any object, it gives me contextual tabs, which weren't there before, but because I've got a table, I can go to my table design, I can go to my layout where I can add in different rows, columns, and so on into it as well. I can go to table design where I can change my cosmetics of my table, the color, and so on, okay? When it comes to charts, the same thing. If I now add in a chart, if I now go into insert again, and I add in a chart, I can add in various charts. I kind of like to add in the pie charts. So I'm going to go with a 3D pie chart. Okay, and automatically when you add in a chart, it will then open Excel. Okay, so here it will show me my 2 columns for my pie chart, and I can call the one column, not column 1, but I'm going to call this branches, and I'm going to keep that sales, and I'm going to name this branch retail, and that one I'm going to call corporate. And yeah, I'm going to call this one, let me make this one technical. And of course, we've got our last department, which is education. Okay, so now I've got that. If I close this down, you will see that it will automatically have changed my chart, my chart layout to that, where it's got retail, corporate, and so on. And I can change the cosmetics with this as well, where I can go to my design. I can change my, add in different elements, my titles, and so on. My layout to show my items, the more my figures on this, the slices. I can also separate my slices and so on. So types of things that you can do is pretty handy when it comes to your different objects. Let's look at quickly at media, right? So first of all, I'm adding a new slide once again. This time I'm just gonna put the title only, and I'm gonna add in an image. So now to add in images, I can just go straight to my insert button, picture, and this is where I can add in a picture from a file, photo browser, or even online picture. If I go to online picture, then your side panel will show you all the different types of images that you can select. Again, guys, you're not limited to these images only. If I should now type in, you know, guys, I'm a bit of a gamer, so I'm going to go with Call of Duty. Guess what? Then it's going to find Call of Duty images. Now, if I want to say, I want to find photos on Apple. It's giving me all photos on Apple, but guess what? It also gives me photos of the old Apple logo and even of the new one, even show me some of the older Apple computers. So this is a quite a good game changer over here. And I can then add that image in. Okay. Just resize it and move it to the top. So that is in terms of images, and there are a whole lot you can actually do with this. If I want to insert it from my computer, that's all good and well. I can go to pictures, can go from file, okay, or even photo browser. If I click on photo browser, it will actually go straight into my photos library. And yeah, I can now go and select it from an album if I've got my album set up, or straight from my library. So I can select those 3 photos there. I'm a bit quick on the draw there. So now if I add those images in, so now I've added those images in, but check this out. After adding it in, I can either sort it myself, move it into place, or I can wait for my design ideas to come in, and they will show me, give me options in terms of how I want to organize these images. Alternatively, I'll just gonna resize it until it gives me a result. Okay, so I can move it around on my slide as I would with images and so on. It's amazing, you know, when you work with these things and you work with it by yourself, then it will automatically generate something for you very quickly. I see it's now taking its own sweet time. But nonetheless, I wanted to show you guys actually what it does. But yeah, you can just add in your images yourself and so on. So while we're waiting, I'm just going to go on and add in the other media as well. When it comes to movies, pretty interesting, because here, if I now add in movies, I'm just going to add in a new slide once again. If I add in movies, if I go now to my insert button and I add in movies, then I can add in movies straight from my computer from file, but I can also go to online film. So now if I go to online film, you can place the URL of that video. So say, for instance, you've got a video on YouTube, you know, so if I now go to our YouTube channel, let me take that video, and I can then take this URL, copy that, and paste it in here, right? And just say insert, and then it will then place that video straight into my slide. So, you know, back in the days, I remember we used to either uh, download the video first and then put it in, or the URL, and then it was a bit of a mess. But now what becomes interesting is this here. Again, your design ideas will show you how you can actually place, or which slide you can actually select for that. Okay. And in my video, I've got a video format button. Okay, so now on my video format button, I can, again, change my cosmetic, put a frame around my video, and so on. I can change the effects of it, video effects with the shadow and so on. Those types of cosmetic features I can do. So that is the types of media that I can put on, the customization about it and so on. Finally, if I've now got all my slides in order and so on, I can put in my animations for it, or my transitions. Because if I still start playing it, if I now select my first slide at the top, and I start playing it at the bottom, I've got the slide show. If I click on my slideshow button, it's just gonna play straight ahead from one slide to the next. Kind of boring. But now if I want to make it a bit more exciting, then I can put in different transitions. So here at the top, I've got my transitions and animations. Now transitions are animations from one slide to the next, where animations is builds from objects within the slide. So I'm going to start with my transitions. So yeah, I want to transition from my first slide to my next. So my first slide, I want to start off like that. So I'm not going to put a transition on that. Start on my second one. So on my second one, I'm going to go to morph. So if I morph, you will see automatically it does an animation straight by moving the text across and so on. Pretty cool. I'm going to stick to it. And while it animated, it actually put a little star there to indicate an animation or transition's been added. I want to do the same with this one. But now if I say morph, you will see that it just flickers and goes into the second slide. Now with this, similar to what I used to do in Keynote, I can change the effect, and here on the effect button, I can say I want to do it by either word. Okay, I see word doesn't have a good effect, but let's go with characters. You see, so there I can see from character to from one side to the next, it actually does that. If I go to my next slide, I can now add in other transitions as well. There are tons of new transitions, guys. There's all of these exciting ones to the dynamic content and so on. So you can really go crazy with these different transitions. When it comes to animations, we can easily we can select the slide, select the object within that slide. And if I go to animations, here I can choose animations coming in or emphasis animations, and I can also choose exit effects as well. So for these to appear, I'm just going to click on the expand. Okay, so that it will show you how it expands in. I can also choose the animation path as well. So if I click on path, I can specify how it must come in. So if I say I want to come in with a curve, and if I preview it again, then it will come in a different curve. And I can also choose the how it must, if it must come in with previous or after previous or on click. So if I play it, it will only come in when I'm clicking on it. Alternatively, if I say previous, as soon as the slide plays, it will actually come in with the slide. So if I go from there and I click on my slideshow button, and I go to the next slide, you will see immediately it will actually come in. Okay. So those are the how I can add in my different builds and so on. One thing I want to show you, and this is the last thing that I want to show you guys, is that if I'm in PowerPoint and I play my slideshow, right, it gives me these tools here at the bottom as well. Okay, so I can actually use like a quick annotation on the slide. So if I select the pen tool, I can then say, okay, we're going to talk about section 2, and we're going to only look at shapes for now. Okay, so it's just the overlay. So if I in the show, discard, and I click on discard, if I play it again, then you will see that it's not there anymore. Also, guys, I've got this here at the bottom, which is the notes button. If I click on it, when I start talking, it will then put in the text below. So which is pretty cool. Cool. So that is some of the some new features that's been added in with what you can use on your basic setup. So guys, like I said, with PowerPoint, you can do a session that is a couple of days long. So yeah, I'll open it to questions, and the show is yours, guys.
Thank you very, very much. It was excellent. Just a stupid question. So I got a bit confused because this is PowerPoint. What's the difference between PowerPoint and Keynote? They seem so different. And then what's the different applications?
Well, they do exactly the same thing. They are presentation packages. The one is just Microsoft, and the other one is Apple.
Yeah, I think one of the challenges is that PowerPoint is ubiquitous, right? It's everywhere. So if you're asked to give a presentation somewhere and you pitch up with your Mac, they'll probably go, well, where's your PowerPoint presentation? We put it on a memory stick. But you know, if ubiquity was the marker of something being better, then flies would be the dominant species in the planet. It's what works for you. At the end of the day, they're both presentation packages, and you can start out with a blank white canvas and you can make whatever you want.
I hope that you enjoyed that session, and all of the best. And guys, take care. Cheers.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Angelo. Thank you.
Thanks all. Bye.